Welcome to my Armadyl or Kree'arra guide. And this, you can actually start training Slayer, and once you get an Aviansi's task, you can kill this boss, and including the 3 minions. So if you are on the journey to 99 Slayer, you might as well do this boss at the same time to get experience. And it's great money, once you do get lucky, of course. And then first off, I'm not going to go over how to get kill count, because this is by far the worst boss in Garber Dungeon 1 to get kill count in. And for that, I highly suggest you to have unlocked the Totem of Intimidation, which allows you to bypass getting a 40 kill count. And the requirement to get this would be 90 Slayer, and then you just kill dinosaurs once you get a piece of the Intimidation. The other 2 pieces are pretty much free. It's locked behind that 90 Slayer. And it kind of does help to have at least tier 87 weapon. You can do this with chaotic crossbows, but you might splash a little too much, and then you'll be food and mouthing like too much, so you won't be able to DPS as much. And then just to kill the boss and even get to it requires 70 range. And keep in mind, you can use magic if that is your better and higher tier weapon. The armor, you can do this with as low as Armadyl, which is tier 70, or subjugation if you are using magic. And since this boss does drop bones and big bones, it will help to have the split dragon tooth necklace, and then with the bone crusher in your tool belt, and you'll be perfectly fine. Although it is advised to bring 4 extra prayer potions. Now for the inventory wise, you want pretty much all food and then 4 prayer potions, and then we'll just be using soul split. And if you do not have access to soul split, you actually want to pray magic. You also want to bring your high alchemy spells and your best familiar for Bob. In my case, it will be the Pack Yak, which does require 96 summoning. If you do have 67 summoning, you can use a War Tortoise, which is perfectly fine. And even a Terror Bird at 52 summoning. For the gear, you pretty much want full Armadyl or subjugation if you are an Iron Man. And then I already have 1 kill, but I'll pretty much show you how to get there. So let me look at the world map real quick. And here we go. So once you teleport to Trollheim for your first ever kill, that does require the Eadgar Ruse quest completed to unlock the teleport. You want to go south, go through the shortcut, another shortcut, and then you want to head north. And then this part does require 60 strength or 60 agility. And then you can just enter the dungeon. From the dungeon, you want to go all the way to the southwest corner. And again, this does require a grapple, which you can put in your tool belt permanently, so you will not have to worry about that, and 70 range. Once you are here, if you're getting kill count, you want to kill these Aviansi's for 40. And then once you have 40 kill count, enter the door, enter the instance, and then just kill the boss once. Afterwards, teleport out. Now, if you do not have the Totem of Intimidation, you want to stay there as long as possible. And then when you do teleport out, you actually need to get kill count all over again, which is why it's advised to get that 90 Slayer along with that Totem of Intimidation to bypass it. Now, let's go for the actual kill. You'll want to enter, and you can attack an Aviansi's, which of course my swiftness is there. Oh well. Let's go north and right click the door to instance. And this only applies if you are an Iron Man. You want to set the spawn to, oh my god. Okay, I guess I gotta kill this little bad boy, since my swiftness bleed is preventing me. Okay, there we go. Once, you're able to actually make an instance. I was a bit awkward, but oh well. Again, if you're an iron, put it to standard, go south, go through the door, option 2 to leave, and then go back in the door if you can click on it. Now let's go back to our instance, but instead of standard, we want to set it to fastest. If you are a main account, just set it to fastest and start. It will cost you 200k, but the method I just shown only works for iron players, and that is because the instance is free for iron players and hardcore players as well. So let's rejoin. And then this, it's kind of situational. You can use a Vampirism aura or the Penance aura, depending on if you do have Soul Split. You can stick with Penance, as your prayer will not run out. If you have like Protect prayers, you can use Vampirism, or you can just use Vampirism aura regardless to be extra safe. And for this, we will only be using the Soul Split spell. Once we enter, the boss will kind of walk towards us. We want to click that boss immediately. And now, for this boss, there's something pretty interesting. If you don't attack him for a good amount of time, or he just like walks up to you a little bit, you want to do an ability as quickly as possible. If you're using bleeds, he has a chance to walk to you, and then he'll start using melee on you. And then it doesn't matter, you just have to keep an eye on it. Like, see right there? And then for here, he'll start using magic and melee. So this is the part I was talking about. If you don't have overheads, if you do have overheads with prayer magic, you might want to be cautious about getting meleeed. And a good way to counter that is to just walk in this corner, attack him, and then there's your space. He won't be able to melee you again. Now, of course, he can just walk up to you again, in which case you go to your door, and then you're home free. And then just keep rotating back and forth until the boss finally stops meleeing you, or you kill him. Now, as for the drops, they're pretty good. The raw GP is amazing. Godward Dungeon 1 is probably by far the best in terms of just money pouring out on the floor. And then occasionally you could get great grimy dwarf weed. And then the crushed notepaper, the bird's nest, is not too helpful because they're what, 300 coins, so it doesn't really add up too much. And then if you are curious about the Slayer experience, killing a minion gives you 363 experience. Killing the boss gives you 2,900 experience, which sometimes I can get a Slayer task of about 240, so I always go to this boss and I get a good amount of Slayer experience while hopefully getting a chance for Armadyl, Armor, and War Priest. And then as for the drops, pretty much he just drops full Armadyl, the Armadyl Buckler, the full War Priest, which I highly suggest you get all 6 pieces and then just dismantle 1. And then once you keep getting that 1 War Priest, just keep dismantling it so that you'll always pretty much guarantee you'll get that specific 1. And leave the other 5 War Priests in your bank. So it pretty makes it, I don't want to say easier to get them, it's just you'll be able to keep track. Because I have known people to dismantle their full 6-piece set, and then they just dismantle whatever they want, and then once they get tired of Armadyl after about 80,000 kills, once they put it in the house, you can't because you need all 6 pieces, which means you have to get them all over again. And then you will actually see my prayer start dropping, and that is because Penance aura, will maintain it. Your split Dragon Tooth will not maintain it, so about every 5 minutes I drink a dose, and then that's it. I'm good for 5 minutes. you don't kill the boss too quickly enough, unless you have tier 90, and then you'll be able to start killing him faster than your prayer will actually drain. And that pretty much covers the whole Armadyl guide. Hopefully it wasn't too much information all at once, being main account and then iron/hardcore iron players, as the strategy is significantly different, as you pretty much need that 90 Slayer requirement. But with that, thank you all so much for watching this little guide on Armadyl, and enjoy the rest of your day.